Okay. Can anybody tell me how did they get the answer 28?
I do.
How did they get the answer 28 to this riddle? Anne.
They added all the sevens.
That's what I did.
7 plus 7 plus another 7 plus 7 is 28.
Or 7 times 4.
Or 7 times 4. And that's the other thing you're going to find out. There's other ways to write this. So, did they have an accurate interpretation of this poem?
No.
Is this close to what you think the right answer would be? No. Okay. So now let's look at how did somebody get 29?
They added the man.
They added the man that was going to St. Ives?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically 7 times 4
Plus 1.
plus the 1 plus the guy who was going. That would equal 29.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, can we skip
Now,
C?
Can we skip C because we're going to need to do a little bit of work on him. How did they get the answer D? 1.
The one man. Because the man had all the wives.
No, it only says that the one person's going there and that he met the man with the 7 wives.
As I was going
Yes.
to St. Ives,
So it's D.
I met a man with 7 wives. Now, here's the interpretation that people will argue
It
about.
doesn't say that she's not going.
Is he going to St. Ives, and as he's going, he just passes these people, and they stay, and he keeps going? Or is he going to St. Ives, and he ends up joining up with this group who is also going to St. Ives?
I think the answer is D.
How?
He said, "Oh, the answer's D."
I said I was going. He said I was going.
But
He
as
went out
I
alone.
was going to St. Ives, I met a man with 7 wives. Now, did this man with the 7 wives end up staying and he just ended up passing by? Or when he says he met them, were they already going to St. Ives, so he just joined with them?
He probably did that.
We
I
don't
think
know.
he just passed them.
I think that's the riddle. A lot of people are going to argue that it is one, it is the author of the poem. But we still need to look at C.
I know.
Chris.
I don't have C, but I got a really weird answer.
I got C.
Okay, let's start looking at C, and then we're going to talk about your answer here in just a second. I am going to use a piece of paper because I liked what,
I was doing.
yeah, was it the tree?
Yeah, I was doing.
Okay, and this also helped me think about it. As I was going to St. Ives, so here I am. What happened?
You met a man with 7 wives.
I met a man. Now this is really what gets me, is this picture here. So as I was going to St. Ives, I met a man with 7 wives. Now, I'm not going to go crazy with this tree because if you started, you realize this thing has a lot of branches. But we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and that represents 7 wives. Okay,
That's where
what's
I
the next
did,
piece?
You
Each
need
one has 7 sacks. So
Okay.
you have to drum.
Now,
So
I'm
it's
not-
about 7 times.
I'm not going to do this on every wife, but at least we can get an idea of what happens. So if every wife has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, basically, how many sacks are we talking about?
49.
Because, why?
7 times 7 equals 49.
49 sacks, which would be 7 times 7. 7 wives, each one has 7 sacks. Okay.
They're multiple.
So now, you
Now-
have 49 sacks.
Every sack had,
7 cats.
okay, so I'm just going to pick a sack out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This represents
Cats.
cats. And how many cats?
343.
343.
7 times 49 is 343.
Why would a wife need 7 sacks with?
Well, here, I'm going to tell you what's happening here. She's doing exactly this. I don't know why she's carrying cats, but she's doing what I do when I go to Dillon's. When I get home from Dillon's and I have all these sacks in my car, I want to get them all in my house on one trip. So what I do is I load my arms full of sacks and then I bust a move into the house. That is what she's doing. Why she has 7 sacks.
But why?
I don't know. Now, tell me something about this. Tell me something about this 343. What? 7 cubed. So basically, now you know what? If you're taking notes with me on this, this is good because this picture makes it come alive. I love how we said that's the same as 7 cubed. What is 7 times 7? Which is 7 squared. What would 7 wives look like with an x? 7 to the first. Okay.
Because 7 times itself.
Now let's keep going here. We've got 49 sacks, 343 cats, and we're not done yet. Every cat had 7 kittens. So I'm going to pick a cat, and I'm just going to show what this is going to look like. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many kittens do we have?
2,400.
And there was that answer that I told you I had gotten previously. I thought there were 2,401 people going to St. Ives, but that's not what it is. What is this?
You're only multiplying one person.
This is just kittens, right. Now, how did I get this? This is the same as saying 7 times 7 times 7. So 7
Now we had everything
to
together.
the 4th. Up. There we go. Okay.
Can we make this easy
Now,
when we add it?
how do we know how many people are going? We've already argued the 1, okay?
Yeah.
How does this show us how many are going?
You add them all together.
Okay.
Can I give it an easy
So
one?
here we go. 2,401, 343, 49, 7.
Can I make this easier real quick?
The first one would be 20.
Now tell me something.
Can I make this easy? When you're adding.
As I was going to St. Ives, I met a man with 7 wives. Is that 1 or 2?
You have to add the 1 man.
You have to
Yeah,
add the
see,
man.
I add the 1 man, but how many people are going to St. Ives? Do I have to include myself in this?
Yes, you have to.
It's 2,800 plus yourself.
He met.
So this is 2,800. You've added this up? Okay, thank you. So let me get back up here.
The easy way to do it is if you had 343 plus 7, that's going to be 350. Then the 49 and the 241, that'd be. So
Okay.
it figures up to be really.
So now the question is, the answer on our yellow sheet said 2,801, but now when I'm looking at my diagram, oops, let me go this way.
You need to add yourself.
I am really wondering if it is 2,802. Because when I added those numbers, I was just adding these 4, but here we have the guy I met and myself.
So this isn't inaccurate.
So we could say it's, where am I at here? 2,800, which is all the things, plus just myself,
But not the man with the 7 wives.
or we could say plus the 2, which would include the man I met and myself. And to be honest, I would probably argue the 2,802. Now, this group back here has a totally different look at this. And this is exactly where someone in my other class had an issue with. What are you guys thinking the answer is?
Well, I got a really.
Oh, you guys don't agree?
No, we're all separate.
Okay, so we have,
I got a really.
I haven't talked to Chris, so I'm not sure what he's going to say here. Go ahead.
I got 19,558.
And how'd you get that?
I'm going to show you. Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you bring that up here? Because I want to talk about Josh's while I'm looking at yours. Josh, what was your number?
Well, my number was actually originally was 275.
This was an answer we got in the other class. I was very surprised when he got the exact same answer. Tell me how you got this answer.
You minus by 49 because
Which answer did you start with when I'm subtracting 49 from what?
from the 2802.
2. So he agreed with this answer. So he took 2,802. Tell us why you took away 49.
I have no idea what you just said, Josh. I'm sorry, but I don't.
Can anyone else figure out why did he subtract 49? What is the 49?
The sacks.
The sack.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it would be
Yeah.
Why would he
You don't need the sacks.
Yeah,
You just need the
the
cats.
reason why is because the
Need the cats.
sacks are unalienated or alienated.
Okay. He's looking at the last sentence. How many were going to St. Ives thinking living creatures? So he subtracted 49 sacks because a sack is not anything that would be going. It's just an item. But now here's the thing that I could argue with you. Kittens, cats, sacks, wives. How many were going to St. Ives? If you look at the second to the last sentence, it's including the sacks. So we have got quite the conundrum. We have this answer, which, would you believe it? I mean, is there some validity to it from the poem?
Yes.
How many were going to St. Ives? Yes. Okay. We have the answer that they gave us on the page, 2,801. But how many of you actually are kind of with me thinking, oh, you forgot about the guy, and it's 2,802?
I'm thinking that now.
Uh-huh.
Not when I was thinking, because I didn't think the guy.
Okay.
Well, I wasn't counting myself. I was counting
So-
everybody else.
We weren't, oh, you were counting the guy, you just weren't counting yourself.
Yeah.
So somewhere somebody was being left out.
Yeah.
So, to be honest, we haven't really solved the riddle. It's still an age-old riddle.
So what?
I think what we have talked about, though,
We solved it, how do we get
is nobody really believes in these two, correct? The math behind these two doesn't support the poem. It doesn't really make that much sense. Okay. Hopefully, if you got this down, this will help you see a few things. Because now what I want you to do is I want you to go and flip the page.
And do it by yourself.
Well, no, we are going to now dive into the math behind this. And when you look at this chart, no. When you look at this chart, it has the wives, sacks, cats, and kittens. It also has expanded form, exponential form, standard form, and the base. Now, I think you're going to be able to understand expanded, exponential, and standard form just based on what they've already filled out in the chart.
There's going to be 7 whole term because that's what you started with.
If you need to understand what base is, read this little box right here. If you read it, and a lot of people just read it out loud because it really sinks in then, it tells you exactly what the base is for this example, and so then you're going to understand what the base is here. I want you to go all the way through number 6. It's going to bring us to our learning target of what we need to figure out, and it does it step by step, and you're going to get right to there where you need to be. So I'm going to have you work in your teams 2 through 6, and I'm going to come around and just kind of double check, talk with you about what you're learning, and after about 10 minutes or so, kind of keep it on target, we'll bring it back together and make sure everybody has picked up the right pieces that they need.